Hello everyone and welcome to today's major markets update for July 19th. Sorry about not being able to give an update yesterday, but it's a little bit of a cucumber time, of course summertime, so some things happen as we are approaching a little bit of a slowdown. Regardless, I always provide you with what I have promised. And on Friday, I concluded that we had 4 options last week, and through logical deduction and elimination, 4 options became 2 and both were bullish. That's just the way it goes. Sometimes the markets are just unclear. It is just the way it is. It is not always clear. That's just the way it is. And then we sit on our hands or trade lighter. We don't have to trade every single scribble. That said, things look constructive. They really do. But it is still early days to say the low is in. We're going to all-time highs. At best, we're going to see a big bounce. That has been my preferred view for higher prices in overlapping fashion, because I first need to see 5 waves up, and we haven't seen 5 waves up, neither in a clean impulse nor as a overlapping leading diagonal. So allow me to explain. Never forget Jesse Livermore's trading rules. Again, everybody always wants to know exactly what's going on. We're gonna get all this plethora of other reasons on why and what needs to be seen and all that stuff. You can't, okay? We are dealing with a stochastic probabilistic dynamic environment. You will never ever be able to know exactly what's going on. It's impossible. So please be aware that all we do is anticipate, we monitor, and if we go above or below certain price levels, we adjust. That then brings me to the charts, and I think the semiconductors are a great place to start. First and foremost, because we broke out above 2618, okay? And that would target, based on simple symmetry, 2862. So far, 2814. Bingo. My name is Bingo. I don't know why people hate my work. It doesn't get any clearer than this. If you can't trade this, I don't know what to tell you. So I've added the wave count here, 1A, 2B, 3C, because we don't know if it's going to be a simple ABC counter trend rally or a new impulse. That's why it's question mark 4, question mark 5. Wave 3C is confirmed full on. We're going to reach this target zone. And as you can see, 2862 is right there. This target zone for 3C is based on ideal standard Fibonacci based extensions. It doesn't have to reach that. And you can see we've already reached the lower end of this target zone. So this is as good as it gets. Technical indicators are all pointing up, maximum strength. I think we can still go higher. Then we let the index decide if it wants to do 5 waves higher. I really hope so, because that then will make it a 1/A. And then we get a 2/B, and after that we get 3/C. And then we'll let the market decide once again if we get a larger 4th and 5th wave or not. All right, so those are the fractal natures of the market. This is very tradable. Now we need to then see if we get 4 and 5. I really hope so, but I don't know yet. It's impossible to know if this is going to happen. Don't know, so we'll have to see. Eventually we'll get the simple if-then scenarios. If we break below the ideal wave 4 target zone, warning sign. If we then break below the 1A top, total warning sign, we're going to go lower. Okay, please keep that in mind. So this is currently where we are. This is why I said, okay, this looks constructive. Shorter term looks good, but it's too early yet to say the low is in place. At the minimum, I need to see 5 waves higher. Haven't even gotten there yet. So this is then the S&P 500 short-term wave count. Haven't even broken above the June 28 high. Okay, haven't. We need to break above it to tell us that wave C of A/1 is underway. So what I like here is this potential negative divergence forming for an ABC setup. And then we get another B wave lower and another C wave higher. This is still a little bit early days to say this is the correct wave count. We'll have to let this fill itself in. It would fit with this rather complex pattern or niche market we're currently in. So I can't give a high certainty on this ABC setup, but I like it. Okay, so I still think every pullback is a buying opportunity until we break below the recent lows. Okay, if we start making lower lows, pullbacks are not buying opportunities anymore. So with that, if you buy a pullback for shorter-term trading, you really have, of course, very limited downside risk, which is previous lows. I like the fact that we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves higher. Everything looks still like ABC, so this still looks like a larger A. It would fill in itself on a daily time frame, something like this. Still remains the same. Alternatively, this is a leading diagonal wave A or a leading diagonal wave 1. Hasn't changed a single bit. We haven't broken out. Question mark here is then, was this wave C of 2? Sure, looks like it. Almost reached the 76.4% retrace at 37.08. Sorry, this number fell away. Thank you so much, stock charts. We need to break out and then target 41.50. Drop back to about the breakout, 39.50. And that 4, of course, goes here. This is where 4 then is. And all I've did so far is move things along in time. Okay, I haven't changed a single thing. It's just we need to see this pattern develop. I haven't. Looks constructive. That's something else. So if this is going to be a leading diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 3 will be 3 waves. So far, this looks like 3 waves. Wave 4 will be 3 waves. Wave 5 will be 3 waves. Will be overlapping. But bigger picture-wise, I haven't seen it. But bigger picture-wise, we have 2 options to move higher. Either as the ABCs in 3 waves, A, B, C in red, or in 5 waves, also all ABCs. So it's going to be sloppy. But so far, yet still, pullbacks are buying opportunities just like yesterday. Yesterday's email, I said we would see about a 50% pullback. We got very close as the pullback would ideally reach 38.12. You don't get it any more accurate than this. We bought it at 38.20, off by 8 points, I believe, out of 3,000 points. As good as it gets. So that's classic ABC. I like it. I still think we're going to move higher in ABC fashion. I simply don't know yet if it's going to be 3, 4, and 5, or if it's going to be ABC. Okay, I do not have a crystal ball. You cannot ask for anything more than this. If you want more precision and accuracy, then I don't know where to go. I can recommend you go to Elliott Wave Trader. They had 4 or 5 different wave counts last week as well, just like me. All right, the good guys have a lot of options that got eliminated. The bad guys have one option, and once in a while they pan out and see, look how great I am. Don't. Elliott Wave is all about preferred alternative option. And at some point, when things go sideways, a lot of options get on the table. We have to wait for the market to lift the shroud of uncertainty. And here we are, 2 left, picture perfect. Both of them are bullish until we start breaking below recent lows. For example, yesterday's low, last week's low, etc. I don't see it yet. This looks quite constructive. So the leading diagonal, wave 1/A, still looks the same as ever before. Nothing has changed. Please give it time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The breakout today looks constructive, but we haven't broken out yet above 39.45. So one thing at a time. For the NASDAQ, speaking of constructive, as I showed you in the slide to start the presentation with, we now finally cleared 12,300, so we can target 12,900. Beautiful. So we held the breakout by the skin of our teeth. Really did. It shouldn't have gone any lower, but it didn't. And now we're back above the 50-day simple moving average. So it is check mark above 12,300, check mark above the 50-day moving average, check mark holding resistance, check mark breakout. So breakout, check. Holding the breakout, check. Back above 12,300, check. Back above 12,000, the 50-day simple moving average, check. How many more checks do you want? This is as good as it gets. This is constructive. But again, I don't have 5 waves up on a bigger time frame, but it looks constructive. Back above the 50-day moving average. That can be your buy-sell trigger. Doesn't mean you will go guaranteed winning trades, but you could, for example, say, I'm going to buy here in October last year, close back above the 50-day. Okie dokie. And I run it all the way up, and then I sell it on a close below it, or I take profits along the way. Using simple moving averages is a very easy strategy to make trading decisions. You need to have an exit and an entry signal. Yes, you'll get whipsawed once in a while, like you did here in September. But again, no system is 100% foolproof. If you want foolproof or total certainty, then pay your taxes and die, because death and taxes are the only certainties in life. I really don't wish you to die, of course, but those are the only two certainties. We are dealing with, as I said, a stochastic, dynamic, multidimensional uncertainty market. And that's all we have to deal with. So then we try to use and devise a system that gives us as much certainty as possible with a very tight stop. Again, all the check marks: breakouts holding above 12,300, above 12,900. Then we must say the analysis says we're going to go to 12,900. Bingo. I like it. My name is Bingo. Bigger picture wise, if it's a bounce, again, we should expect a target at around 14,000. Potentially a 76.4% retrace. Targets 15,300. That matches, of course, the breakout level for this diagonal. Okay, so that's good. So this all aligns amazingly. It doesn't get any simpler than this. Here's the Dow Jones. This potential leading diagonal wave A is still on the table, that we're now in wave C of wave D. It's very possible. Alternatively, we bottomed for wave A, now in wave B, and then of course a larger C wave, or we're in wave 5. Again, I have not seen 5 waves up, not on any time frame. So if anything, the rally so far of the June lows looks more corrective, meaning threes, than impulsive. But threes, as I showed you, can be part of a larger leading diagonal. Sorry, this wave count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So please give it time. It's still early days, but all of them are pointing higher. Even this leading diagonal is shorter term pointing higher. Okay, even the B wave is intermediate term pointing higher. Even the leading diagonal is pointing higher. Even the ABC pointing higher. So everything so far is pointing higher. As long as we hold yesterday's low and last week's low, I'm looking higher. Here I'm going to show you a little bit of, you'll watch me work. This is the line chart of the Dow Jones. And we had this alternative for a potential bounce and then a final C wave lower. Why? Because we only had, as you can clearly see, 3 waves up. But we're moving higher. So this ABC option is off the table. So I can adjust the wave count and take some labels away. We had clearly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves lower. Perfect. Then this should then be a 1A. Okay. And then you can see here this 3 waves down, 3 waves up, 5 waves down. This is then 2B. And we should now be in wave 3C. Okay. Picture perfect. I like it so far. And then we can do some Fibonacci math with this. Okay, so there's still plenty of method to the madness. We're just still a little bit early days and uncertain. We just got back above the 50-day moving average, which hasn't happened since April this year. So we're still really tentatively trying to move forward. And again, we're even below the cloud and below the 200-day moving average. So again, it's early days, but still tradable, that's for sure. There's still, of course, method to the madness. And then this wave 3C should target this. And then we'll see again if we're going to get a wave C. That's all there is to it. A 4 or a potential also a 5. Can't tell you just yet any of those. So still, again, early days. If you know that with 100% certainty it's going to be 5 waves up, I'll take you to Las Vegas and we're going to break every single casino out there. 3 waves down, 3 waves up. This was shorter term 5 down. Again, this is also 3 waves up. So if anything, this is a ABC or just a leading diagonal, because it's all ABCs. And all ABCs gives less certainty, unfortunately. Okay, it is all less certainty. That's simply what we're dealing with, and that's the market environment we're in. Remember, we are still below the 200-day moving average, so it is not a raging bull. This is not a throw everything at it but the kitchen sink type of market. Not even close. So please keep that in mind. I can't say it often enough. I can't say it better enough. Trade it safely. Look, we got the breakout here. Okay, so this looks all constructive. That is for sure. Everything looks constructive. That means one can trade it. Just make sure you trade the appropriate position size. Trade with tighter stops, considering the market environment. We're below the cloud, below the 50-day, just back above, below the 200-day, just back above the 50-day. So there's still plenty of uncertainty in the market, and trade it therewith accordingly. Okay, so that's all I have for today. Short, sweet, and simple. Last week we eliminated 2 out of the 4 options. You say that's too many options. I could make it 5 or 6 if you want to. I just stuck to 4, eliminated 2. Those were bearish, and now we only have 2 bullish options left. I need to see 5 waves up. I think the semiconductors are really the best example. Shorter term can be very overlapping ABC for a larger ABC for the S&P 500. That will eventually still target into the 4500s for a large B wave bounce, where we're going to see some sort of leading diagonal setup as well, which is also be ABCs, but there are ABCs up subdividing 5 waves. I can't discern it yet. Those are 2 options. Tell you, both are pointing higher. NASDAQ looks constructive, breakout. Okay, one must buy the breakout. That's just the way it is. And you said that doesn't mean it will only go higher, but it looks good. We're checked off all the boxes. Dow Jones has a few more options and tricks up its sleeve, but all of these options are all pointing higher. We'll track it diligently. I would say the most bullish option for now will target somewhere around 33,500 on the Dow Jones, which matches even with about the, I would say, least bullish option. So far so good. So thank you so much for listening. Take care, trade safe, and I'll talk to you all very soon.